Alice Mann's Economic Development Corporation really is the quick background is that a number of years ago, Reverend Trufant, the pastor of this church, wanted to start an Economic Development Corporation. He did, and for some years, it focused on financial literacy, but also a changing community. One of the things that came out of the Economic Development Corporation was teens and means business and supporting young people in being entrepreneurs and learning about entrepreneurship. And that has occurred, and that has continued to happen and thrive each summer for the last I think 8 years. And so it's named after Alice Mann, who was a youth leader and pastor here for a number of years until she passed. Her daughter, you may know, Jocelyn Mann, who's done a lot of work with the youth for a number of years, and now his transition is still here. Is leading a lot of the community services that the church in community partnerships at Emmanuel.
I'm going to say, good morning, my name is fill in the blank, my business is fill in the blank, and the reason I'm successful is, okay, I know you're going to have to hear it again.
What organizational structure you choose also has other implications. You want to be aware of things like tax implications. And so that's not my area of expertise, but certainly what I would always encourage you to do is to make sure before you give any of these organizational structures some serious thought, seek out great legal advice as well as accounting or CPA services. A proprietorship is generally owned by one person. In that regards then, that one person is pretty much going to be providing a small service type business. As a proprietor, you are going to have your very personal assets as well as your business assets at risk. And it's because of that that you want to at least think about ways that you can separate yourself as the individual from the business so that there is no crossing over. A partnership is simply going to be a business structure that's owned by 2 or more people. What's probably going to be true, though, as we move from left to right, as we move from proprietorship to a partnership, is that the type of business that can be offered is going to change. And in this case, for people at the table, you'll be able maybe to offer some retail and service type business items on a much larger scale.
Based on what your business is, you might not, like for me, I'm a lawyer barred in the state of New York. So from a tax perspective, I might say, well, I want to be registered in Nevada, but obviously I can't do that. So I don't even qualify to go and open a business in Nevada. So those are the types of things that we have to just get clear on, whether or not your business qualifies to be set up in another state. It may not.
My name is Tyler Anthony, and I'm a financial counselor at the Financial Empowerment Center. Now, a little background about the Financial Empowerment Center is basically out of restoration. And basically what we do, we help individuals with one-on-one financial counseling. These financial counseling sessions are free. And you can have as many financial counseling sessions as you want in order to reach your goal. So if your goal is to have a 700 credit score, and we will work with you until you reach your prospective goal. And the good thing about the Financial Empowerment Center is that we have a lot of other organizations that do charge. I know personally that I have a couple of clients that said, hey, I shelled out $1,000, $2,000 for financial relief or for credit repair. We do all of that completely for free. And I know a lot of people aren't a fan of New York City government, but this is one area that I must say that they actually did something good on. So, it is free. I would definitely encourage any and everyone to come down and really take advantage of this service. This is a great service that is truly needed, especially in our community. When we look at the minority African American community, we are really behind as far as credit scores, credit reports, and just building up a solid financial future. We have some really great qualified financial counselors really down there. And we have just an array of other services as well to take advantage of once you come down. So I have a client who has a decent amount of income. He earns about $85,000 a year. But every month he says, Ty, you know what? Every time I put my check in, I'm getting hit with overdraft fees. And that's the thing. And you can notice this with your own bank accounts. You can put money in there and it'll take 2-3 days to clear. But when you debit money from your account, it debits right away. So a lot of people don't understand the fact of, I'm pretty sure a lot of us have that experience. So the thing is, you have to be mindful and you have to be watchful when you put your check in and when you have automatic withdrawals coming out. Because I just read actually yesterday, I'm a big fan of the Wall Street Journal. I read it, like a nerd every day. But basically, Citibank, they made about $7.5 billion in 2012. Now, and that's in a surplus. So that means after all the overhead, lights, gas, utilities, alcohol, they paid their employees, this is the surplus that they made. And you have to think, where in the world are they getting billions and billions of dollars in surplus? It's because that $35 overdraft fee that comes from you and everybody else around the country. And this is how these banks really make their money, from nickel and diming us. And unfortunately, we have to deal with these banks because we need it again to access the financial market, but you have to be smart and you have to be key about what's going on in your bank account. Yes?
If anyone is familiar with what an algorithm is, it's sort of a calculation of, say, take all this data and create a score for me, a numeric number. So FICO is the one that the banks use. So if I'm getting my Experian credit reports and I get a Vantage score, it can be different from a FICO score. So you gotta be, or True Credit, or the different models that are out there, you wanna make sure that you're getting a FICO score on all three of the credit report. The FICO is the toughest one, right? So if you have a 750 credit score on FICO, you're doing pretty well, right? Where you have a higher one on the others.
So the one thing, getting out of debt, you saying that you want to get out of debt, naturally, on a basis, that's not going to be enough to push you. It's not. You have to, why do you want to get out of debt? This is where planning starts, because if you don't get into that much detail with yourself, there's so many things that will distract you. On the other hand, this why is more emotional. It needs to have some type of emotional anchor. Your family, your kids. You want your kids to have a better future than you did. You want to be able to help your church more. It has to be an emotional connection, because if it's not, it's going to be easy to go this way and that way. Because not getting out of debt, you know that you want to get out of debt, but more, if you really dig down into that why, there's a reason why you want to get out of debt. There's an emotional connection, and that's what you have to tap into. So I just want you all to think about that as we go through this presentation. Just think about your why, and if you don't have a why yet, you need to get one as soon as possible, and it needs to be emotional. It needs to make you feel something when you say that you want to do it.
How many of you, by show of hands, would like to be wealthy? Okay. I didn't see every hand, so I'm really good. How many of you feel as though you know exactly how to get there? Okay. Check it out. Then continue lunch. Let me tell you a bit about my story. Born in Philadelphia, raised in New Jersey, just across the border. Father passed away when I was young. Mother raised me and my older brother. Growing up, I always listened to my mother. Okay, sometimes. All right, I never listened to my mother. I was a hard-headed young man. I thought I had all the answers and all the questions. And my mom and I butt heads when we locked for a number of years as I came of age and thought I was a know-it-all. The list goes on. So, long story short, by the grace of God, I made it to Rutgers University on an athletic scholarship, track and field. It was a high jump and a long jump in college. And it was my junior year at Rutgers that I came to a crossroad. I was just returning from this summer, and I was at a student activities fair where all the student organizations had booths for the incoming students to learn more about the student groups that were available. And at the fair was a gentleman who I had grown up with, a guy named Wayne. Wayne and I went to the same high school, and just so happened to go to the same college and had the same major, electrical engineering. I see Wayne at a table at this fair selling t-shirts. And I said to myself, what is he doing? And so I walked over, I said, Wayne, what's up? He said, what's up, Rand? And he said, what's up, Rand? I said, what are you doing? He said, I'm selling t-shirts. I said, are you making money? He said, what does it look like? I said, it's like you're making money. He said, I'm making money. I said, and is this your business? He said, what does it look like? I said, it looks like it's your business. He said, it's my business. And I was floored. I was 19 years old. I had never seen anyone who looked like me, much less my age, who owned a business and was making money in business. And I thought back to my years growing up. I sold lemonade as a kid. I sold candy in the halls of my high school. I tried to sell my toys to other kids in my neighborhood. And I got tired of my toys. Now keep in mind, they were all broke. And then my mother found out, she said, you can't sell the toys, I bought the toys. You're gonna sell the toys, at least give me a cut. I told her no. And so she shut down the whole operation. She shut everything down. But I'm thinking to myself, I sold lemonade, I sold candy, I sold toys. Well, I tried to sell toys. If this young brother can run a business, why can't I? What is the difference between income and wealth? Income is what you bring in. Wealth is what you keep. Now, everybody here knows somebody, or knows somebody who has a very expensive car. Rims, spoilers, leather seats, nice stereo, etc., etc., etc. But after years of talking about opening a business, they're still living at home with his mama.
Yeah.
Yeah.